What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to KangBrosTV. Liverpool have just lost 1-0 to Chelsea. Now, we needed 3 points here massively big time, right? But the thing is, I don't know how to feel about this game because I actually felt that Liverpool gave a good account of themselves for the first half. So, and in the second half, I thought Liverpool were poor. We didn't make enough chances, simple as that.
But fair play to Chelsea because I think they defended like an Italian side, if you know what I mean. It was very Conte had him just set up. They had 11 men behind the ball.
Yeah.
So break that down. We can't do that when flipping West Brom and Swansea have done it. So when Chelsea do it, who are obviously better quality, then yeah, it's going to be a lot tougher.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'll give full credit to Chelsea. I think the way they play, the way they conducted the whole fixture, I think they defended really well, like we said. And they took a lot of pressure from Liverpool. Liverpool had the ball a lot. They had a lot of possession. So this was for the first time for me. I was actually happy to see Liverpool on the ball because against Roma, we couldn't actually get on the ball, couldn't pass it around. And this time, it was completely different. We had the ball, but like you said, Chelsea, I've never seen Salah marked out of a game or kept silent as well as Chelsea did. Now, I don't know if it was just because of Rudiger or because of the way they were set up. Kante was phenomenal, as he always has been. Up and down the pitch, making very, very important challenges and vital challenges coming in. And I think Hazard had a stand-up performance as well. He did some amazing stuff, and Liverpool found it hard to contain him at times. But
see, this is the thing, yeah. Like you can sit here and say all that to me, but and obviously they won, whatever.
Yeah.
But if I was Conte, I'd be pissed. I'd be pissed. I'd turn around and be like, so you can play like that? You can nail a game plan when you want, just when you fancy it.
Yeah.
And that's why he's on the brink of losing his job as the manager, or he'll walk away from it, or whatever. But then you're going to say, oh yeah, it's easier to sack the manager than it is to sack the players. The players pick and choose their games. Oh, it's funnily enough, last few games, there's an outside chance they can get in the top four, right? And now they've given themselves every opportunity to do that. And it's the World Cup coming up and the transfer window coming up, and all of a sudden they fucking fancy it. If I was a Chelsea manager and if Chelsea fans, I'd be pissed. I'd be like, what? So you can do that? You can nail a game plan against a team that's in the Champions League final in the top four, and you can't, and you just do it when you fancy it. Nah, I'd be, yeah, it was a good performance. They done what they needed to do. But as a fan, as a Chelsea fan, I'd be like, you lot are fucking soft as shit.
Well, I think as being a president Chelsea fan, I'd be happy, obviously, like you said, with the result. I think they played very well today, and they got 3 points where it counted. Now, the goal that came from Chelsea, there wasn't a lot of chance in the whole game, let's be honest. I mean, even though Liverpool had a lot of the ball and Chelsea nailed their game plan, they didn't have that much chances themselves. Now, they took their chance very well. I mean, what was your thoughts on the goal?
Just think, sometimes when you're playing against people like that, they are an absolute nightmare. It just feels like all their strength is just stuck in their shoulders, and you can't fucking get anywhere near him. And I thought it was just a ball into the box. I thought he wanted it more. I just thought, he's good in the air, and it was fair play. They got the goal. But again, like you say, we've had a lot of the possession, we've had a lot of the ball. But I saw at one point that there's 3 players with the fewest touches, and it was the keeper, and it was Salah and Firmino. They're the 2 guys that make us tick. As a defender, you're probably thinking, yeah, Mane is a threat, and he's a threat, but you'd rather he has touches on the ball because he isn't technically as good as those 2. Those 2 can do something from nothing, and Mane probably the one that you could probably, if you had to out of the 3, although he's very good, if there's one person you won't mind having a bit more of the ball, it's probably him. You'd want to keep the other 2 quiet. So look, again, I think the goal, I know you've probably got your opinions on it, but look, it's a ball into the box. As a centre back, I know that if someone scores like that, when it's a ball in the box, when I could be getting my head on the end of it, I'm always disappointed. And yeah, that's my take on it. I'm just so disappointed. It's just so. I know. I feel like I'm being a bit of a neg. Liverpool have done X, Y, and Z, but I'm just so annoyed. It's fucking annoying losing games, and especially when it's I felt we've had a possession and we just looked. Sorry.
The question I'm going to ask you, right, is do you think Liverpool, this is the thing that's worrying me the most, is are Liverpool now tired? The way we play, I think Henri touched on it earlier as well, and I mentioned this in the game, Liverpool have lost points now and dropped points against West Brom, Stoke, they lost to Roma, and now we've just lost to Chelsea. Are Liverpool, their squad's fucked, it's not deep as it is.
That's what I was about to say. I think tired's one thing, and it's inevitable, but their injuries have caught up with them, and, again, hindsight's a beautiful thing, and I know people will always turn around and say, oh, it goes back to the strength and depth in the squad, but obviously Emre, he divides opinion, but obviously, normally he plays, Ox is injured now, Emre's injured, that's 2 midfielders, Lallana, and then obviously Klein has been out all season, you're trying to bring him back at some point, Matip's injured, Robertson's played a lot, Trent, he's played a lot. Wijnaldum's obviously got his workload. Henderson started on the bench. Trent, he played in midfield today. You're asking a lot. And I just think it's inevitable they're going to be tired. They've played some big matches. Emotionally and physically, they're tired, but the squad's thin at the moment. So,
but do you think that's a part to play in the result? Like today, do you think it's due to tiredness, or do you think?
I don't know if it's due to tiredness, because they like you said, the performance. It's not like you look at the performance and that was poor.
They had good chances. I mean, Salah, Mane in the first half was the shining light for Liverpool. He had some good chances in the first half. Ran through, like you said. You said about having Firmino and Salah off the ball, and it was actually Mane who's coming through the middle. He was actually very dangerous coming down the middle, and he had a few chances, half chances, and he could have made something out of those.
That's it. And again, I don't want to, I don't like to go on about it too much, but Champions League final is the season for us. That's the be-all and end-all for us, right? I know that at the moment, as a manager, you're probably in a rock and a hard place because you're thinking, I need to secure top 4. I've had opportunities to do that with... If you could pick fixtures, you would have probably wanted Stoke and you would have wanted flipping West Brom.
Yeah.
And you've not picked up the 3 points in those. So it's our own fault to be in the situation that we are. Brighton have just beaten Man United. So I'm thinking, fucking hell, do you know what I mean? Like, sake. Because we could... If we don't get top 4... Mm-hmm. It's a travesty.
Yeah,
it is a travesty. We cannot not be in the top 4.
The thing that pisses me off about Klopp is he alludes to the fact that the players haven't got no rhythm. So the likes of Klein and all these kind of players. How the hell are any of these players going to get rhythm if you're not fucking using them? Now, excuse my language, but I understand the squad is short, but we've got people like Woodburn. What has Woodburn actually done? What has he done so negatively that he can't play against the likes of West Brom or he can't play against the likes of Stoke? We have to rotate somewhere.
And also, he's not letting him go out on loan. Harry Wilson's flying. When he went out on loan, and he's done some. Obviously, don't get me wrong. But Wilson's played in week in, week out. Shea Ojo's been involved in the Championship team. That's obviously they've missed out on automatic, but he's been involved playing for Fulham regularly. Grujic has just got promoted with Cardiff, right? He had to use it in a jar earlier, right? And Woodburn's probably the one that's the most exciting out of all of them. So if you're not going to play him, if you're not going to use him, send him out on loan.
For me, because he can actually bring some flair. I've seen him play in centre midfield, and he can actually play centre midfield. So and he would give you a goal threat because he can score goals. And Solanke, how is he ever going to get any rhythm? This is the first time I saw Solanke come on for a while now. And I just don't get it. I mean, if you're going to rotate,
young guys as well, they need to.
They want to prove that they want to prove that they could be in the squad. So for me, I just don't get it. Yeah. I know your team's short, and we've got the Champions League final up. But just use some of these players. Today, I just felt we lacked creativity where we needed it. I mean, when Hendo came on, it sort of upped up. The game upped up for us a little bit. But
you fucking love Hendo.
No, but like I said, there was no creativity. There was no creativity whatsoever.
Maybe. I don't think it's difficult to say, there's no creativity. It's difficult to say that, I find, when you've got 11 men behind the ball.
Yeah, true.
And it's difficult because, but sometimes that's where I think sometimes you do have to, I know they were getting the ball and they were trying to switch the play a lot and getting balls, but they had joy when they got balls into the box. When they were a bit more patient and they got balls in the box, they did have joy. It's just one of those days. But we've only got one game left. And if it's another one of those days in that last game, we're fucked.
It's at home, I believe, isn't it, right?
Yeah,
I think.
Brighton. And who are safe now. But it's just, I don't know. Like I'm always nervous anyway. But I'm shit myself now that if we don't, because listen, if we're betting men, you're going to bet that Real Madrid are going to win that final. If you're a betting man, looking at the statistics and the histories and all that sort of stuff, the chances are that if you have to put 100 quid on it or you have to put your house on it, it's going to go on Real Madrid, isn't it? Right, so that's why you can't take no risks, and you've got to nail top 4. They've had the opportunity to do it, and I'm worried that if we don't get top 4, then all of a sudden I've seen it now. All the positivity that comes with it, you lose in the final and you miss out on the top 4. It's a shocking season, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? I know that sounds like I'm being negative, but it's just the facts. But yeah.
So to wrap this video up, I mean, man of the match, who would you possibly give it to?
Mate.
I would probably edge it towards Sadio Mane. I think,
For me, Sadio probably the only
He was the only real threat from Liverpool. He gave a lot in the game as well, so I'll probably sway towards Sadio. So just to finish off with Brighton, do you think we'd win that game or?
Mate, I don't even know. If we had the chance to play a couple of other teams at home just to get 3 points, and we haven't done it. So we need to pull our fingers out. I know it's easy to sit here and without running all the hard yards and putting all in the shifts. And it was a hot weekend. I get all that, but we need to be in the top 4. There's no two ways about it. We need to secure it. So we need to turn up and play our flipping hearts out. I know there's a bit of a rest now. There's no midweek stuff for a little while.
Yeah, so we've got a full week's rest for this game. So I would think we'll do the job at Anfield. Last game of the season, we've got a full week's rest and we'll get the job done. I'm obviously going to be positive about it. So yeah, I mean, I think we should get it done, and hopefully we can, and we have that. It would be nice to go in with the 3 points now.
You know what I mean?
But
it is what it is.
So let us know your views on the game, and do you think Liverpool will secure top 4 next?
My biggest concern, sorry, just to jump in there, but my biggest worry is that if something like this happens in the final, like a Chelsea, imagine you got Cruz, Modric, Bale, Ronaldo, Asensio.
I don't think they can defend like that.
Yeah, but mate, listen, if you just take everybody behind the ball, are we good enough to break them down? We've proved that against other teams that we're not. Even the lesser teams, we haven't been able to do that.
It's the wing play. We're not actually, if we can't do anything down the middle, we're not getting, like Moreno, I think, whipped a ball in for the last game I saw. It's something that Robertson needs to improve from the further back, a dangerous cross in. When he came on, he actually did that. So we'll see how we go.
We'll see, yeah.
So yeah, let us know your view on the game, and if Liverpool will wrap up the top 4 next week. So don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Peace.